wonder if this Jesson's cross that I'm talking about as well might be a useful tool to work with someone that's anxious. And as I've mentioned it, I will draw it. So Ali Jesson originally drew a cross, but Mitchell's adaptation of Jesson's cross goes like this. So down here are the three escape hatches. So harm others, harm self, go crazy. Actually, I normally just divide it into harm others and harm self, because I think the going crazy means different things to different people, but it's generally about harm. And then up here, then health. And this is the tool that I like to use when I'm working with someone who has issues around harm, and that might be someone that's very anxious in the world, because it might be that someone that is at risk of harming themselves or harming someone else is anxious. And so rather than saying to people, are your escape hatches open or not, are you going to hurt someone or not, I like to facilitate them around this diagram. So thinking about, okay, so what are the things that you do in the world that harm others? So the question not being, do you do things to harm others? Because actually we probably all do things that harm others. So, and also harm self. And then sort of put them down in different levels. So this being the things that we do that mostly harm ourselves. So it might be, so for example, I'm carrying a bit more weight than is good for me at the moment. Well, that is actually harming myself. I had 2 glasses of red wine last night. Well, it's not a huge harm, but it is harm to self. So I speed sometimes, those sorts of things. So getting people to just explore that, and then looking at, okay, so what are the things that you do to take care of yourself? And this can be a lovely bit of theory, because it's visual, because people can then look at it and say, oh wow, actually I've got lots of things down here that I do, a few things down here and not many things up there. So rather than working with closing the escape hatches or working with them open, I like to do some exploring around where the person is in terms of taking care of themselves and stuff.